Big shout out and thank you to Anker for sponsoring this video. If you want to learn more about their PowerWave wireless chargers, even potentially get a discount for yourself, hit the link down below. I'm going to tell you guys a poorly kept secret about Siri. She sucks. And this isn't like a knock on the iPhone in general. I'm a big fan of the iPhone. In fact, I'm using the iPhone. I enjoy my iPhone. What I don't always enjoy is Siri. And to put that in context, Siri is okay on its own. Siri, compared to the competition, still has ways to go. So Siri actually debuted in 2011 with the iPhone 4S. It wasn't until July the next year that Google Now came about, which started answering questions, doing assistant-like things, and they since split that out into what's now the Google Assistant. But even now, in early 2018, Siri is still incredibly far behind. Now, Siri still has some uses. I think it's incredibly good at dictation. She's good at reminders, she's good at calendars, good at telling jokes, and occasionally singing you a bedtime story. But you look at it apples to apples, so to speak, and what the two can do side by side, you start to see how far behind Siri is. This message to Apple is there are a few small steps Apple could take to really bring Siri up to parity with what we have with Google Assistant. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the first annoyance with Siri is the experience is inconsistent across devices. If you're using Siri on a HomePod, for example, it does a really good job of being contextually aware of what you're talking about. If you're talking about an actor, you could ask what movie he was in and it'll know. That experience is not the same on the iPhone, it's different on an Apple Watch. You don't get the same Siri on every device. That's confusing and ultimately ends up being annoying. All right, but let's focus on the iPhone. I mean contextually aware. I mean the phone's going to know the context of what you're talking about. So let me show you. Hey Siri, who is Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant played shooting guard in the NBA between 1996 and 2015. He played for the Los Angeles Lakers.
How many championships did he win?
Here are Kobe Bryant's career stats in the NBA.
So contextually here, Siri didn't know who we were talking about, but couldn't find the answer. Sometimes she knows, sometimes not. The results are just frustratingly inconsistent. Another big area of deficiency is knowing what's on your screen. If I'm on Safari and I go to Lakers.com and I ask Siri when the next game is, it's gonna pull up a list of sports and I have to go through Grammarly to eventually go to basketball, Lakers, and then find out about the game. So if we're on Chrome on an Android device, when I just ask when the next game is, Google's going to contextually know the screen that I am on, and it'll tell me when the next Laker game is. That is a huge step in contextual awareness, and it makes the AI, again, more conversational, more useful. It knows what you were doing, like a real person, a real assistant who's kind of sitting in the room with you. So contextual awareness is one thing, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this, but what about general questions? I can ask Siri when the NFL draft is, for example, and it'll tell me what it found on the web. If I go ahead and ask Google when the NFL draft is, it'll give me the exact date. And here's where things get interesting. At least on the surface, you'd think that Google was way far ahead. All it's doing is reading you the results that it found on the web. What Siri's not doing is reading you the results that it, you guessed it, found on the web. If it would just read what it's finding, it would bring it up to pretty close to parity with Google, but it's not. So it makes it less useful if you are in the car, if you can't read, if you can't look down, if you're visually impaired, a lot of reasons that you can't click an article and wait for it to load to get your answer. Google just simply reads it to you. That is one of a ton of examples I could have picked, but this is something that happens all the time. Another example that happened to me, I'm a DirecTV Now subscriber. They mentioned that sometime in spring, their beta was going to go public, so I wanted to know what months were spring. Siri just gave me a search on the web and Google told me the exact months. Those questions, those things that you would ask a person, ask an assistant, are far and above better on what you get on Apple. And mostly it's because it just reads you the stinking answers that Apple already has there. This isn't to say that Siri is a horrible assistant. Like I said, it's good at a lot of things. It's just not as good as the competition, and it should be. Apple's got an incredible amount of resources, and they're touting Siri as this incredible product. They're putting Siri front and center on the HomePod. You see Siri in iPhone ads. The experience should be consistent, and Siri should read you what it's finding to bring it up to par with what you get from Google, and I don't know why, now almost 7 years later, it is not doing those things. So regardless of how you feel about Siri, one feature that I am glad finally made it to iPhones is wireless charging. And if you want to wirelessly charge your Apple phone, your Samsung phone, any other phone that can do wireless charging, you definitely want to check out the PowerWave wireless chargers. There are two different options. There's the PowerWave 7.5 pad. It's made of a pretty cool anti-slip material. It's going to make sure your phone's not going to get scraped or scratched. There's also, if you like to stand up your phone, there's a PowerWave 7.5 stand. It's going to give you that same faster wireless charging. You can put your phone either horizontal or vertical. It'll work either way. If you guys are in the market for a new wireless charger, hit the links down below. You can sign up and choose the deal that's going to suit you best. Have you guys been annoyed with Siri too? And I challenge you to try one of these things on your friend's Android phone or your Android phone and see how it handles things differently. And I think that you are going to agree. Hit the subscribe button, little bell next to it to let you know when new videos are coming your way. I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo.